All right, so Owen keeps triggering me with Harry Potter. I have this art here because, God, when I was a kid and I found out they were making live action movies and not cartoons, it really broke my heart. This is a much better aesthetic for Harry Potter, in my opinion. It's very cartoonish. Because the thing about Harry Potter is that it represents a world that is a nearly exact copy of the real world, except the moral and spiritual dimensions of that world are amplified. The moral and spiritual dimensions of that world are exaggerated. And that is what gives Harry Potter its potency. That and the fact that it's very Jungian, it's very symbolically coherent, very easy to read. The symbols map very easily onto symbols of the collective unconscious. Okay, so the three virtues of man and the original sin founded Hogwarts. The four houses of Hogwarts represent the four founding members. You have Gryffindor the brave, Hufflepuff the loyal, Ravenclaw the clever, and then you have Slytherin the snake, the original sin of Hogwarts. So Harry's scars on his forehead, prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that allows you to override your old conditioning, the part of the brain that gives you free will. A lot of people say Neo in the Matrix is named that because of the neocortex. And the scar that's on Harry's forehead is a lightning bolt. It's an act of God. It's a force of nature that gives Harry that extraordinary power of free will. So the Chamber of Secrets is a very interesting book because the Chamber of Secrets, what is it? Okay, so Hogwarts represents the cradle of the higher human mind. So you have these people, the wizarding world, who come there to be educated. The wizards and the witches have agency. That's the only difference there is between wizards and witches and muggles. Practically speaking, in the books, wizards and witches have agency. The wand is a symbol of agency and tarot and everything. It's a symbol of willpower and free will. Muggles are described as animal-like in the books. They're described as piggish because they don't have the ability to choose good from evil. And the reason why, as annoying and ugly and stupid and mean the Dursleys are, they're never equated to Voldemort's level of evil or even the Death Eater's level of evil, because the Death Eaters and Voldemort chose evil. They had a choice, whereas the Dursleys are just like animals. They're equated with pigs constantly. So Voldemort, by the way, means death wish, will of death in Latin, and Death Eater, I mean, they're people who are choosing death to eat death, right? As a living creature, you eat life. So they're doing an inversion of that. It's death wish, it's Death Eater. It's about evil wanting to destroy what is created, because that's what evil is. So the Chamber of Secrets is a hidden secret chamber within the walls of Hogwarts, within the cradle of the higher human mind. And Slytherin wants to hoard sacred knowledge from Muggles and from Muggle-borns. So he doesn't want other people to discover free will. He wants to keep all of this magic for himself, basically. So it makes sense that there's this chamber inside of Hogwarts that houses this giant snake, this giant symbol of original sin, that Harry defeats with the help of a phoenix, right? The phoenix is a symbol of Christ. So, because they burst into flames, they turn into ashes, and they are reborn from the ashes. That's Christ. So, Harry uses Christ to destroy the symbol of original sin. One of the things theologically that people always say about Christ is that he atoned for the original sin. And Jung also said that the point of alchemy was to atone for the original sin. And there's lots of alchemy in Harry Potter. There's, Rubius, Albus, and Sirius Black. Rubius, Albus, and Black. Rubius means red. That's the hands-on man. That's the working man. Albus means white. It's the theoretician. It's the refined thinking man. And black is death, basically. It's the phase of death, which is why Sirius Black is always emaciated when you do see him, and he dies very quickly in the books. And that and the Sorcerer's Stone, the Philosopher's Stone, whoever wrote the books clearly had a knowledge of alchemy. As far as Jung goes, the books are very coherent when you use these collective unconscious kind of symbols. And Harry even has very Jungian dreams where the things that happen in his dreams in the books actually tell you something about what's going to happen later on. Also, Rowling knew something about Twilight language and the Rule of Four, but Twilight language in that all of the characters' names, they tell you something about who they are, right? Like Remus Lupin is a werewolf, and Dolores Umbridge is horrible because her name means sadness and pain. You might just think it's something that's cutesy, but I actually think it's a little deeper. I think it's like a Twilight language kind of thing, where the books are telling you, look, pay attention to what the person is named in real life. Another example of alchemy in the Harry Potter books is the boggart in the third book, right? The boggart turns into the thing that you're most afraid of, and then you get rid of him by laughing. That's actually very good alchemical advice. Voldemort's name is Riddle, because evil, in a sense, is a riddle. You have to wrestle with it a little bit, right? Like to wrestle with God. Voldemort hates his dad because his dad didn't have agency and couldn't save him, yada yada. Voldemort's a textbook Gamma. He's very, very Gamma. Secret King-ish. And he's very weak. He's a very weak person. So the Chamber of Secrets, another reason it's interesting is because all three cluster B personality disorders are represented in the Chamber of Secrets. You have Moaning Myrtle, the histrionic. You have Gilderoy Lockhart, the grandiose narcissist. And then you have Voldemort himself, Tom Riddle, who is either a malignant narcissist or a psychopath. So that's just another thing that kind of clues you into the fact that the Chamber of Secrets is about the brain. The Chamber of Secrets is the part of the brain that houses that snake, that survival-brained, fearful, animalistic self that wants to hoard the sacred knowledge. So, let me see, am I forgetting anything? I mean, the very first act of magic in the books, which is also in the movies, is when you see Harry remove the barrier between his muggle cousin, Dudley, and the snake at the zoo. So Harry, because he's magical and he can talk to snakes, he doesn't know it yet though, removes this barrier between his piggish animal cousin and the symbol of free will, the symbol of original sin. So Harry's a weird daywalker in that he can talk to snakes because in order to destroy the evil that's around you, you have to destroy the evil that's inside of you, which is also why Harry turns out to be a Horcrux. Yada, yada, yada. If you want more gravy on Harry Potter, you can watch Harry Potter Revisionism 1, Harry Potter Revisionism 1.5, my video about Voldemort. It's a very symbolically coherent. It's really, really obvious what it's about. And the movies, I've heard that the movies are very hard to parse. I don't know. The books are great. It is what it is. There's alchemy, there's Jung. It's very easy to read. In both ways. You know, a lot of the time when people want to do like these symbolic analyses of things, I don't buy it at all because it's stupid. And then they say like, oh, they represent the traits of man. And it's like, no, it's not like that with Harry Potter. It's very straightforward. It's amazing how straightforward it is. All right, that's all I got for you.